How's it going, ladies and gents? Today I got a pretty cool video. I've been waiting to film something exciting, and this to me is very exciting. We got our first 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV in. Now this actually came in from one of our other locations. It's already sold. It's not going to be here long. I do not have the ability to drive it because it's already sold, but I do want to just show you, show you the vehicle and kind of give you my first impressions. First impressions, I really like it. The styling looks good. I like the front LED bar here, which has some pretty cool features when you charge the car. You can see those LEDs kind of moving around, lights up that bow tie. You know me, I'm a big fan of the electric powertrain. I drive the Chevrolet Bolt every day. The Bolt EUV is not necessarily a car for me style-wise that I would actually go for. It was the powertrain in the car that I really wanted. It was the price of the car. It was the electric, factor of the car that I really wanted. This would be something that, although it's at a completely different price point, would be something in the style side that I would actually like. The size, the length of it, the width, it has a real nice stance to it. This is something I would prefer better. And if it has the same, drivability as the Bolt, which I love, then this would definitely be something that I'd be interested in. This one is an RS trim. It's got some big 21-inch wheels on it there, which look real nice. The one thing I do not like is this charge door. So basically it's motorized. You press here where you see those two little markings and it's going to drop. Actually, you can see there it didn't. Press a little harder. It's going to drop down and that's going to expose your level 1, level 2. When you pull the little plug out, your DC fast charging port. To close it, you're basically going to press this button and it's going to close. Now the reason I don't like this is because there are times where my car is plugged in outside, let's say in a snowstorm, and I'm charging it overnight or I'm charging it here at the dealer, and when snow and ice and things like that kind of build up in there, I just don't know how that's going to affect the motor and how these arms are moving. There's a lot of little integral parts in there. If I press the button to close it, you'll see exactly what happens. It's just going to slowly lift it up and put it in place. So you have to make sure that there's no obstructions anywhere within this panel, because if there is, it's going to probably pop it right back open. So personally for me, because that's a high traffic area, some people might charge the car every day. If you're opening and closing, I just kind of see that something may go wrong with that. One thing I do really like is that even when you have your key, you press to get in, there's no push to start button. So once you get in with the key, you just put your foot on the brake pedal, and when you do that, the vehicle is going to start up. I like that a lot. I think that's a really cool feature. Just in the last, the car's only been here a few hours, just the ability of me getting in and out and kind of looking at things and how things work and making this video, I've already gotten used to it. The key would be in your pocket the whole time. There is an off button on the screen here, so you can press that and you can turn the vehicle off if you wanted to. You'll also notice there's a headlight button here on the screen. So there is no headlight control here, which that's another feature that's that I like. It's an auto headlight feature. In my car now, very rarely, if ever, do I have to touch the headlights. They're an auto. So, you don't need the button for that. You can just add it to the software. Probably saves GM some money. Now, let's talk about this as far as an electric vehicle, because that's, truly what it is. Obviously styling, like the red interior looks fantastic. It's an Evotex with like a suede material as well. It's very comfortable. There's a lot of nice design elements around. Obviously the screens are huge, but the main reason why I want to talk about this vehicle is the electric components. So, when you're driving the vehicle, you'll look at your instrument cluster here. You do have on the left side here your battery indicator. So right now, we're not currently fully at 100%. The 100% is always there. The 0 is always there. It does not give you any kind of a number in between. It just gives you the mileage at the bottom. I like the fact it gives you the miles. This car has an estimated range of 279 miles with the all-wheel drive. So you can see we're just about fully charged at 267. On the right-hand side here, you'll notice you have your power indicator. So when you're accelerating or using power, this is going to fill upwards. It'll be orange. When you're regenerating power, it's going to be green. It's going to move down. And you do have same features like in the Bolt, where you have your regen on-demand paddle, which you can press and hold. That will use the electric motors to slow the vehicle down. And you have the ability to do one pedal driving. Now, one pedal driving I have in the Bolt. I use it all the time, unless I'm on the highway. If I'm on the highway, long trip, no reason to slow down or stop, I usually turn it off. And it's very easy because on the Bolt, there's a button right like in your cup holder area that you can toggle it on or off. When I first got into this Blazer, there was no button. I looked everywhere. I couldn't find it until I actually went onto the screens here. Now, it is easy to get to once you know where it is, but if you want to cycle back and forth, depending on how you're driving, it's a little more cumbersome. But what you would do is you're going to go to Controls, you're going to go to See More Controls, Drive and Park. And that's where you're going to see one pedal driving, where you can have it on off, on, or high. Now, because I'm not going to be driving the vehicle, I won't be able to kind of see the differences of how it feels. But obviously off, the vehicle is going to creep forward. So if I was to go into drive and take my foot off the brake, the car's just going to roll. One thing it does have, which the Bolt does not have, is an auto hold. So if I push that on, whoops, I gotta fasten my seatbelt. Okay, seatbelt's buckled. I hit the hold button. Now the auto hold is on. You'll also see a green indicator here. So I'm in drive right now. If I was to roll forward, I slow down, it will creep, right? I have no foot on the brake, no foot on the throttle. If I come to a complete stop, you'll see auto hold's gonna light up. Now I can let go of the brake and the vehicle will hold in place. Let's see if it works in reverse as well. If I was to back up and then come to a complete stop, no, so it does not work in reverse, only in drive, because that's not lighting up green. And then you just press P, back in park. So the same functionalities here. You have one pedal, you have regen on demand. It's gonna work very similar to electric cars that you may have driven, especially like the Chevrolet Bolt. One thing I also found in here, which I thought was pretty cool, if I go to settings, vehicle, drive mode customization, you can actually adjust your settings. So steering, do you want a normal feel? Do you want a sporty feel? Braking, you want normal, you want more of a sporty, more responsive as far as the brake pedal. Same with acceleration, you have relaxed, normal, and sport. This one is cool, motor sound. Right now it's set to off, but you have a sport and a normal mode. This is gonna customize how your vehicle sounds when you're accelerating. Your electric motor will remain quiet outside, but the sound you hear inside will change as you drive faster or slower. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to get to try this out because I'm not driving a vehicle because it's already sold, but that would be something that would be interesting to me. Now, one of the things I like about electric vehicles is how quiet they are. So I would probably have it off in the car, but I would be very interested to see, for those people who like engine noise, exhaust sounds, things like that, what those sounds are actually like. You also have what's called the My Mode, where you can go in and you can kind of customize all these things based on your specific preferences. Now, for another thing I don't like, when you go into drive, the vehicle makes a noise. I don't know if you can hear it in the car with the windows closed. I'm gonna open the window and see if we can hear it on the outside. I'm gonna just be quiet for a second. Of course, the ice cream truck pulled up. What I'll do is I'll turn up the volume in editing to see if you can hear what it sounds like. And that sound is on the outside of the vehicle, but you can hear it inside. And right now, when you hear it in drive, you hear it towards in front of you. If I go to reverse, you actually hear it behind you, and you hear it in the vehicle, and it's, to me, very annoying. It's like a wah, wah, wah. You hear that noise, so if you were trying to drive around where you're not, you have the radio on and maybe you just want some silence in the car, you're gonna hear that. Now, I think it turns off at speed. I don't know how fast. I'm not trying it out because I'm not driving the vehicle. Hopefully it does, because it's something that I didn't see a setting where you can turn that feature off. It looks like it's something that's always gonna be on. Here you can see your camera. You do have bird's eye view. You have your front. You can change from, that's back, that's front. You can change for an overhead. You can look down the sides. So all the normal type of bird's eye 360 camera features are there. Your heated ventilated seats are here for driver and passenger, so you can control that from the screen. You do have a couple of hard keys with your actual climate control knobs here. And then you have these pretty cool looking vents, which are open or closed by turning. And then when they are opened, you can kind of adjust it to where you want the airflow. So a really cool little setup, very sporty looking, Camaro inspired almost. Definitely has some of the previous gas Blazer vehicle cues, styling cues and all. You do have standard glove box. You have some storage under here. You also have your cup holders, your wireless charger, storage, and your armrest. So really a nice layout. Seat's very comfortable. It does have things like memory seat and stuff like that. This one also has a head-up display. So if you look in the front windshield there, you'll see the speedometer. The controls for that, unlike the Corvette and Camaro where you have controls on your dash, the controls are actually in here. So it's the same thing. We're gonna do controls. We're gonna go to HUD for HUD, and that's where you could adjust your brightness, your height, and your rotation of that head-up display that's in the windshield there. Another thing you'll notice is you have your dome light control on here. Now that seems a little awkward to have to go through multiple things to turn your dome light on. You can just press your map lights on and off, and like our Suburban and Tahoe, if you press and hold this, it will turn on all the lights, including the ones in the back. So you just press and hold any one of them and it'll turn them all on. So you don't have to do that through the screen if you don't want. We have a button on the steering wheel here which will change the screen for our driver information center. So you have a couple different display screens. You also have the ability to bring Google Maps up right in front of you rather than on the screen to your right. You have your speedometer on the left with your power output and your estimated remaining range. You have one with your lane keep assist, that sort of thing. This is my radio function with my Bluetooth on the right, back to like a real simple screen, and then back to the original. So you do have the ability to change what you see here in the front. Now for another thing I don't like about the vehicle, no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. Now this is Google built in, so there are plans you can purchase, you can download from the Play Store. So what I'm assuming is when you want to download something like Pandora or Spotify, and if you have OnStart Wi-Fi active, you'll be able to use all those functions on the screen. You'll be able to use Google Maps, but you will not be able to use it from your phone. So for instance, right now my phone is paired to this vehicle. I can use the radio, I can do Bluetooth calls, all that sort of stuff, but I'm using my phone to control like the channels of Pandora. On the screen, actually let me just pull it up. I think I am currently paired. Yeah, so here I am paired. I can skip songs and I can change or play music, things like that. But what I can't do is I can't go through the channels. I would have to use the phone for that. So I guess with Google built-in, again, if you download the Pandora app to the screen, if that's able to be done, I've never physically done this before, that's how you would have to get around that with a Wi-Fi plan, especially if you're with an iPhone. On your screen here, again, you have a whole slew of icons. You have your vehicle statuses, so you can go through energy usage, your energy efficiency, your tire pressures, you know, all the stuff you can bring up normally on the screen here, you can do here, and then you could actually push the information from this screen to that screen. So for instance, energy info, let's click on that. You'll see add to driver display. Now that's on our left-hand side here, whereas before it was our time and date and stuff like that. So you can also remove it. You can change those things based on what you want to see. There's also a charging information icon where you can drop your charge rate. If you want to only charge to 80%, you could adjust that here. Now let's take a look at the rest of the vehicle here. Hop in the back seat just to kind of give you an idea. This obviously is a 5-passenger vehicle. You do have vents here, you have USBs, and you have heated seats. I am 6'5". I have headroom. My knees aren't touching the seat, and this seat is where I would be driving, where I was comfortable. Actually, I did have some room where I could have actually moved it forward. And then you can fold these seats down with the handles on the seat itself, so you have more cargo space. You just fold that down and open this up. And there you go. So pretty typical, you know, nothing really too much different than the original Blazer. Under here, you'll notice there is no spare tire. You have some deeper storage, and this is where you're charging your charge cords for your house. So you do have that hidden underneath. And then you have a button here to press to close this. This actually is a, I forget what they call it. I think it's called Auto Sense, where you can have it turned on that when you get within 3 feet and you have the key fob with you, that'll open automatically. And you can set it to either open, close, or have it off, which is, you know, again, a pretty decent feature. You keep the key in your pocket the whole time and you don't have to actually take it out for any reason. Last thing I want to show you under the hood, this you're going to pull twice, and that will open up our hood so we can see what kind of powertrain we have in this vehicle. Get ready for this. It's just a whole bunch of plastic. Hood struts, no prop rod, nothing like that. Basically, the only reason the average consumer is going to open this up is to take off this panel and fill washer fluid. Other than that, you know, this just hides everything away, whatever electric components or whatever Ultium platform hardware is underneath there. Obviously, there is no storage, no front trunk or anything like that in this particular vehicle. It's just one big plastic shield. So I know this was just pretty much a quick look at the new 2024 Blazer EV. Again, this is getting delivered, so it's going to be gone, and who knows when we will get another one. But I wanted to kind of put some quick content together just to give you my first impressions and my thought of it. You know, being a fan of electric vehicles, I think this is definitely going to be something that would sell very well. It's just a matter of, you know, when they can start producing them and getting them here for us to offer to clients. A couple more quick things I should probably mention. MSRP is $60,215 on this particular vehicle, the way it's equipped. It does qualify for the federal incentive up to $7,500. It does charge at a charge rate of 190 kilowatts, which means on a 190 kilowatt charger, you would get about 70 miles in 10 minutes. So it's definitely got a lot quicker charging than the Chevrolet Bolt. You could also obviously plug into level 2 at the house or level 1. What else could we talk about real quick? I think that about covers it for now. Styling looks real good. The LED lights have some nice little active elements to them, how they move, and especially when you're charging the vehicle, you'll see the lights kind of move around and stuff, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I think that's about all I got. So thanks for watching. Any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them all.